Hey friends, welcome back to a new video. It has kind of become somewhat of a yearly thing for me to do a no-buy challenge of some sort in the new year. In 2020 to 21, I did a no-buying clothes challenge. Then last year, I did a no-buy Amazon challenge that I have yet to update you on. And also last year I did a challenge where I tried to buy as much secondhand as possible. With every new challenge, I learned so many new things and I get to challenge myself in wonderful ways that really help me grow. And the reason I'm doing these is because, for one, I consider myself a minimalist, or I really would like to pursue or be better in minimalism. And I want to have less stuff, since less stuff then also for me means less stress and more money and more time and less clutter around your home. Then my second reason for doing this is also environmental. So every time we purchase something new, there have to be resources used to produce that item, whether it is energy or the material itself. But then once you've used that item, it also then has to go into the landfill, and then it has to be processed there again. And again, there's energy used, the resources are used, water is used. And I just want to be as low impact to the environment as possible. And with that, also be more conscious of what I actually buy. So through my 2022 challenge of thrifting, if you haven't watched that video, I'll link it here or down below. With that challenge, I for one learned that I still buy quite a lot of new stuff. So with thrifting, I try my best to thrift things, to look for secondhand first before buying it new, but still I bought about 50% of the things that I bought in total new, which is quite a lot. And I would say 90% of the stuff I bought was more of an impulse purchase, things that I just don't really need. Okay, maybe let's say 70%, but still just a big chunk of stuff I bought I didn't really need. It was more of an impulse purchase. Sure, I had fun and it made me happy in the moment or when I maybe wear it, but in general, it doesn't really make me happier. I mean, if my house would burn down, those things would burn with it. I wouldn't be absolutely devastated, just because those are items and you should never attach yourself to things and items. And I would just really like to improve in that department, to buy less stuff that I don't need, save money, save the environment, and also to have less stuff in general. So my goal with minimalism is that I've kind of reduced my things to a really good amount, a really good collection, you could call it. But every time I buy something new, I add on to the number of stuff that I have, and I really don't want that. I already have everything I need, so every extra thing, unless it's replacing something, is an additional item to my collection, and I actually want to keep it this way. So I really need to reel in those impulse purchases, especially when it comes to clothes. For some reason, I'm a big sucker for clothes. I wouldn't necessarily have described myself that way, but when I look at my purchasing history, my biggest weakness is definitely clothes, especially during the springtime when the weather gets warmer. I find myself wanting to buy new clothes, dresses, and fun colors. And I really want to avoid that this year. So 2-3 years ago, when I did that no buying clothes challenge, I was really good I completed that challenge. I didn't buy any clothes, and also I didn't miss buying any clothes. So I want to kind of go back to that and not buy any clothes in 2023, except if I have something that breaks and I need to kind of replace it. So for example, if I have a pair of jeans that is just beyond repair and I need a second pair, once I discard that, I will be allowed, in a sense, to buy a new pair, so just for replacement purposes, but no additional clothes. And building off of that, I want to reel in other aspects of my shopping habits as well. So I want to limit myself to buying only 15 items this year. So no clothes, but everything else, just 15 items. So I don't count things that are consumable, so like shampoo or makeup and obviously food, things like that I don't count. And I'm also not counting things that my boyfriend and I are buying together. Mostly that would be home things. So we are planning on getting dining chairs for our living room this year, probably, because we've just been sitting on our balcony chairs that have been scratching up the floor. So if we decide to buy that, then that would be a joint purchase, and that would not count into my personal 15 items. Also, I want to exclude any art supplies, since I really want to get more into creating and painting, and I don't want to limit myself in any way in that area. Of course, I still want to be conscious of my purchases and really think about whether they're necessary, but I don't want to add any art purchases into those 15 items. So why have I decided to do 15 items? Well, looking at my purchases last year, since I wrote them all down, I was able to count that I purchased 40 items last year, and about half of those things were clothes. So since I'm not purchasing any clothes this year, you could cut that number in half, so that leaves us with 20. And some of those things were still impulse purchases. So that kind of made me come down to about 15 items. I have no idea if 15 is too much or way too little, but we'll see. That is a fun with this challenge. I think it should be doable for items that are really thought out well. I mean, that's the whole purpose of this, that I know I have a limited amount of things that I can buy, so I have to be very, very intentional and conscious and think about it a lot before I go ahead and buy certain things. So for these 15 items, I actually already am down 2, even though it's still January, but so I have only 13 left. The first thing I bought this year was a spray paint. So we had bought a hanging pendant lamp secondhand, and it was this white cream color that I didn't hate, but it just had this cheap IKEA look that I didn't love. So I wanted to spray paint it this matte dark green, and it looks so beautiful. So I bought that spray paint. The lamp itself I bought last year, and that I would have counted as a joint item, but that spray paint was kind of something extra that I wanted, so I'm counting that as one of the 15 items. And the second thing I've already bought is wool to knit with. So beginning of this year, I started to learn how to knit, and it's been so much fun. So I'm currently knitting, what are they called? Leg warmers, since I also started ballet, and I thought, why not knit leg warmers? So fitting. So I've run out of wool, and I've actually purchased secondhand wool. Well, secondhand, someone had bought it and not used it and is reselling it. So that's already the second item I bought this year. So we're already down to 13, but I am positive and confident that I can make it. I'm really excited to see how I do. I'm excited for the lessons, for the learnings that I'm going to have at the end of this year. I always learn so much from these challenges. So I really encourage you to maybe also start a challenge of your own, maybe join mine. You can definitely tailor it to your lifestyle, to your preferences. So maybe just do the no clothes, maybe do no shoes, maybe that's your weakness. Or maybe you also want to do a limited amount of items, but maybe don't do 15, maybe do 10, maybe do 20, 30. Just tailor it to your lifestyle and your preferences, since we're all so different, but do some type of challenge. I really encourage you to do that. If you don't want to do a challenge, then at least write down all the things that you bought or will buy this year, since that also, I think, is so interesting to learn more about your shopping habits. What do you buy? How much do you buy? Maybe how much do you spend? It is always so surprising looking at what you actually bought and how much you spend. I did that last year, wrote everything down that I bought, and it was so interesting. I learned so much and was so surprising. If you don't want to do a whole year, maybe just do a 1 month challenge. Just do something that will help you grow, help you learn, and it's also so much fun. So let me know in the comments down below if you want to join my challenge, do some type of your own challenge. Send this video to someone to encourage them to do their version of this or their challenge. Hopefully we can all just be a little bit more conscious and mindful about the things that we buy. we all want more money and more time and less clutter, so this is just so fitting. Thank you so much for watching. If you found it helpful, inspiring, entertaining in some way, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos on my channel on minimalism, healthy living, slow living, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.